What's up, YouTube? It's your big bro, King Jabez. Back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about my content. If you want to talk to me one-on-one in consultations, I offer those. Whatever you decide to do, it will be greatly appreciated. Let's do some work. Men, it's been a while since I did one of these longer in-depth videos about a discipline that I believe is essential for all men, which is why I gave close to an hour talk maybe a year or two ago entitled All Men Must Practice Semen Retention. And I meant that, and I still stand on that. So here we are today talking about this topic with some fresh perspective. And I think I gave this video the title, Seed Retention Day 50, Building Power and Wealth. Let's tap all the way in. I want to really break this down. And what this means, day 50. So I cleared day 50 on yesterday. For those who follow my content, you know this is nothing new to me. I cleared 8 years in my 20s. I was celibate throughout that entire time. Totally transformed my life. And so retention is something that has been in practice for me my entire young manhood. And I preach this to any man, any race, any economical status, whether you're someone who's struggling, trying to get on, or whether you're a man who's currently successful. We talked about this. You guys who've been rocking me for a while, let's tap in real quick. Yeah. Back in 2020, I did a series for 30 days called 30 Days in Iron, and I broke it down. We talked about LeBron. Come on. We talked about AC Green. We talked about David Hay, Mike Tyson, Nikola Tesla, Ali. I did those videos back to back, dropped like it was hot. I gave all those examples of well-known men, famous, successful men. And then I also came from a different perspective where I gave some ancient biblical characters. And we talked about Joseph. We talked about Isaac. We talked about, I believe, Daniel the prophet, a number of people. So I gave you perspective both from a historical, biblical context, ancient Israel, as well as current modern day. And this is something I believe men should practice. I'm going to say real quick, shout out to Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is someone who's well known, and he has talked about this topic a lot. I've seen probably 10 videos from Kevin Gates alone. And so I give him his props for being in that industry, being in that lane where he's known, and he's speaking about this openly. And I believe one thing, because he's passionate about it, because he has seen how it has transformed his life and how it's made him a stronger man, able to better connect with his woman, get to the gym, record new songs, and really have influence over people. So this is a practice for all men. It doesn't matter if you're a guy who wants to do this for the purpose of getting stronger in the gym. It doesn't matter if you're a guy who's trying to develop your mind so you can develop your business. If you are a creative person, your creativity increases after 50 days. This is what I've researched. So day 50 plus. And by the way, 50 isn't the goal. The goal is to go until you get a breakthrough. Yes, that's simple. So I can't tell any man how long he should go. That's up to you. I've got that question so many times. You got to figure it out yourself, my boy. Whether your goal is for 6 months, your goal is 90 days, your goal is a year or two, or if your goal is to be celibate for a decade. I don't know. Everybody is in a different place in this particular journey. And I'm not here to tell you how to do that. That's your decision, your responsibility. But I will say this, 90 days is a good goal for most guys. Because during 90 days, you will have a complete transformation. Let's talk about it. And this is just me speaking from the heart. I got my notes. I came here prepared with type notes and everything. So I haven't even got to my notes yet. We talking from the heart right now. So let's tap in. This is all in my spirit. Day 30, you're going to have pretty much like a spiritual transformation. For those who believe in the chakra system, some of you don't believe in that, that's fine. I won't push my belief system on you. But many of you from the East definitely understand that concept. And, I believe after 30 days, it gets you out of your root chakra. Most men are stuck in their root chakra. It's not a diss. This doesn't. By the way, me talking about this, I don't feel like I'm better than other men. Let's be clear on that. That's not the purpose of this talk. Because some of you guys, I've seen this in the community, you think this makes you better than other guys. It's not about that. If you are fortunate enough to come across some content like this and take it serious and practice it and benefit from that, consider yourself fortunate. Some men who you respect have never heard of this. So as common as it is on YouTube or social media or wherever, You'd be amazed how many guys have never heard about semen retention. If you try to explain it to them, they'll think you were weird. So this is not a conversation you can just have with just anybody. It's awkward. It's weird. But it is one we can have in this online space for those who want content like this and who are on the path. So if you're on the path, my boy, my advice to you, man, is first of all, congrats. You have tapped into something that is high level knowledge. Do you know back in the days, they had secret schools where they taught retention to only a select amount of people in society? It wasn't common knowledge to everybody because they knew everybody wasn't ready for it. And the truth is now everybody's not ready for this now. That's the truth. So men will make excuses. How do you do it? I can't do that. We're not going to get into all that. If you can't do it, that's your choice. That's your responsibility. You're not going to put that burden off of me. You're responsible for your own seed. So what do I mean by that? Don't come to a video like this and make the whole video about why you can't do it. We're not doing that. That's something you got to figure out, my boy. If you can't do it, discipline yourself. Get a bigger goal. Get focused. Get serious. Determine that you're going for so many days and stand on it. So moving on to the next thought. Once you get to that 60 to 90 day mark, you're going to experience a lot of benefits. The mental clarity. And I'm going to break down why that happens, because the brain and your seed are the centers of your body as a human man. And when you're able to hold on to your seed for an extensive amount of time, what happens is that you essentially, after time, nourish the brain. This is the way it works. This is biology. And that, of course, unlocks more brain cells, gives you more clarity, charisma, ideas, confidence. And what will happen is a number of things. You'll become a leader amongst men. That will happen. People will respect you. You will have an aura that is undeniable. And this is something that is a blessing to you for, in my assessment, operating the way you're supposed to as a man. You see what I'm saying? I believe that your default, and I've been teaching this for 5 years now, your default setting as a man is a place of confidence. So let me ask you a question. Are you in a place of confidence and strength when you're on your phone looking at corn sites? This is not a judgment. This is a conversation, men amongst men. No judgment, no shade. We're asking some questions. Put some teeth in this. Do you feel confident? You're sitting there and you're back to day one, doing what you said you wouldn't have done. And by the way, if that happens, that's part of the journey too. If you relapse, I'm not here to judge anybody. But think about how you feel when that happens. Think about your life. Think about the goals you have, man. You got goals. You want to be somebody. You want to build your business. You want to connect with a high-value woman at the right time. You want the respect of your community. That's normal for a man. And that happens for, of course, a number of reasons. Hard work, desire, determination, dedication, all of that. But in the context of today's talk, we're talking about this as a base level discipline. So if your body, if we were to use the analogy of a car, retention is the gas, it's the fuel. So this is not the end of the destination, just doing seat retention. This is something you do to get you on the path. You draw to give you that confidence to jump out there. So let's dive a little deeper now into why I say retention will help you build power and wealth. I coined that term. It comes from Steve Jobs. He talked about why he practiced retention. And the reason he practiced was for the purpose of building power and wealth. And we're not here to say that's going to happen in 2 months, 6 months, or even 90 days. But to get the ball rolling. So let's talk about a couple of thoughts here. Thought power, manifestation, wealth. Let's break this down. Let's kick the science. Your seed is the brain fluid. The brain is the instrument of manifestation. In Hindu culture, they refer to it as ojas, or spiritual power, or brilliant power. And when you as a man are able to escape the dualistic reality of the past in the future in order to tune into the present, this is when you begin to manifest. So a word there is pretty clear: presence. A lot of men are not present. I go to the gym every day. You guys follow me on Gram. You see the results. You see the work I put in my stories. So I'm not just talk. I see a lot of guys. And there's some men who are just, they're not present. They seem distracted. This is not a judgment, by the way. This is just an assessment as a big bro. They can't make eye contact. They struggle to put together several thoughts in conversation, articulate rather themselves in a way that you can respect. And this is not because of lack of intelligence. I think it's a lack of brain fluid, because most men are releasing this seed too much, dude. And that's a problem. This is a problem. So in my assessment, this is a worldwide problem for men. Real talk. And I think as men, there was a time back in history when men would get together in caves and meetings and would talk for hours. And that's kind of what I'm doing now from this space. It's just talking to you. Not trying to tell you what to do, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all men. So who am I when it comes to that, right? But as someone who has to be honest, a heart for young men, and what I have experienced, what I've learned, I feel compelled to share this and how it has transformed my life. And so, in other words, without me getting into that, as men, we need to do more of this. We need to normalize, rather, talking amongst each other for hours. That's not feminine. We're not gossiping. We're sharpening each other. Iron sharpens iron. Hold each other accountable, because none of us have all the answers. So one man may have answers in this area, another man may be advanced in that. This is why kings have a staff, right? They have people who are the financial experts. They have people who are their advisors, their counselors, the generals in the military, right? This is why they have that, because no one man has all the answers. I'm no fool. I know that. So we should not be afraid of other men speaking to our lives. That goes for you and that goes for me. I'm holding myself accountable. We should not be afraid of another man holding us accountable. In fact, we should be open to that and see it for what it is. That's a way of showing love. If a man's telling you how to do something better, he's actually showing you love. Now, you may not always appreciate how he does it, how he says it, but at the end of the day, if what he's saying is correct and accurate and is helpful for you, it can help change your life. So let's keep it moving. Let me give you this analogy. We're going to use the analogy of heaven, the 33 years with the Messiah, the crown, the head, the pineal gland, the holies of holies. Let's drop this science real quick. Your head, in this context, brother, is heaven. The seed travels up the 33 vertebrae, which is the Christ oil, right? Which is a symbol of the 33 years of the Messiah on earth, to the crown, your head, heaven, right? Nourishes the pineal gland, or the holies of holies. The key to your wealth is your thoughts, right? So if you're able to nourish your brain, this will give you the thoughts. You can't do that as smart as you think you are, my boy, my guy. If you're not practicing this, your brain is not thoroughly nourished. And I know some of you are going to scoff at that because you may have never heard this before. You don't want, but I'm telling you what I have thoroughly researched. And I'll tell you, I'm not saying every guy should go to school. I don't believe in that. College is not for everybody. In fact, it's not for a lot of guys. Honestly, most guys, would be better off to keep it 1,000, going to trade school, learning a trade, honestly. So I'm not saying every guy should go to college, but I was one who did because of what I did for a profession, right? So that guided me through my whole time in college. I was on retention the entire time I got my degree. And just how I was able to read those books, absorb the information. And guys, again, I'm not saying go to school. I know sometimes hearing the word college triggers you. It ain't about college. It's about learning. Even if you never go to school, that's fine. As a man, you got to get books. You got to get information. You got to take courses in something, whether it be business or having a mentor. You have to accumulate knowledge to be good at whatever you're doing, my boy. And so whatever it is, I can tell you from my own personal experience, I lived this. During my entire time in school, this helped me just to retain the knowledge. People ask me, how do you remember all this stuff? That was how. I had the purity. And in other words, and what's interesting about this, at the time, I didn't know all this like I do now. So I just did it out of my religious beliefs, to be honest, out of my convictions, without this knowledge. But now that I have this knowledge, I realize now, okay, that's exactly what it was. I was a man in my 20s operating with a nourished brain. And so, if all of this stuff is on your phone for free, what's the price tag? Your life. That's yours. Your future, your goals, your ambition. your desire for greatness as a man, your desire to conquer and to build your empire, to whatever you want to call it, you sacrifice that for a moment of pleasure. And again, guys, this is not me saying you should be on retention for a year or two straight. I mean, again, I made that so clear because some of you get stuck right there. It's up to you. Everyone has their own practice. Some men may decide to, let's throw something out there, go on a 15-day streak, 30-day streak, 90 days. Some guys going 2-3 years. Wherever you're at on journey, my point is you should be practicing on some level. That's my point. That's where I stand. And this will give you the mind you need and the ideas to build that wealth. And I believe, of course, Steve Jobs did the work, obviously, and he was obviously gifted in the area of technology, right? I believe retention just fuels what you're already naturally gifted in anyway. For example, Steve Jobs' case, he was gifted in technology, and that retention practice helped to push that. Same with Nikola Tesla with invention. Same with Ali with boxing. See, retention didn't make Ali a great boxer. He was already a great boxer. What it did was it pushed him to the next level. LeBron James, boom, talked about this years ago, how his wife wasn't happy with what he was doing. What was LeBron talking about? LeBron was saying, hey, bro, I'm practicing retention without saying that. So a lot of great men do this. So if you're sitting back listening to this talk thinking this is something weird, you need to get in tune, my boy. You need to get in tune. Was it weird for LeBron? Come on, let's talk. Was it weird for Nikola Tesla? Was it weird for Muhammad Ali? And not just athletes, by the way, if you're thinking that, because Tesla was an athlete. Steve Jobs was an athlete. We can go on and on and on. Men, and I can't think of all the names right now, but men all over the earth. It doesn't matter who you are. That's why this is such a powerful practice. Because if you're a guy who never lifts weights, and you're a tech guy, you're intelligent, this is going to help you. If you're a guy who lifts weights, you definitely should be on retention. If you're one of them guys who's serious about fitness, and I had a conversation with a guy just a few days ago at the gym. It was a nice guy. He was actually competing, bodybuilding, national level. And he just came up to me. He was sharing how he hurt his leg and whatnot. I don't even know this guy, but just guys, when you have this aura about yourself, men can tell, okay, I can talk to this guy. And we had a conversation. He talked about how he injured himself, how he's trying to get back. And I didn't do this, but I wanted to so bad talk about retention. And I'm glad I didn't, because that would have been a very awkward first conversation. You don't bring that up. But I wanted to help him because I knew in my mind, I know it can help you, my boy. I know, okay, if you're at the national level for competing and you injured yourself, I know for, especially your leg, I know for a fact retention will help you recover. I really believe that. So that's just for what it's worth for you guys who are athletes. Man, you definitely should be doing this. All men, right? If you're an artist, you should be doing this. Nipsey, shout out to Nipsey, TMC, you dig? The marathon continues. I feel like rapping out to my Nip. That's my boy, you hear me? But, Nip talked about it one time. He talked about he read the book, The Way of Superior Man, and how he's not perfect. This is all online, man. You can research all this stuff. All of these guys are saying the same thing. As a man, there comes a point where you have to lock in. And I like the analogy Nipsey gave. He talked about how he felt like he's in this title fight for his life. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm your big bro. I'm going to keep it stacked with you. I feel like that's where I'm at in my life right now. As your big brother online. I feel like I'm trying to take my life to the next level. And I'm on this current 50-day streak. I'm not doing it just so I say, I'm on 50 days semen retention. It ain't about that. I haven't accomplished my goal yet. And in the words of Kobe Bryant, shout out Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, job not finished. I'm not sitting here thinking job is finished because I'm on 50 days and I'm better than somebody. I'm trying to grind. You hear me? I'm trying to get turned up. So I'm not sitting here feeling like I'll finish something. No, so 50 days in, I'm trying to get to the next level. Let me get to that next plaque. Let me get to the 90-day mark. Boom, get 90. Let me get to 120. Let me keep going. And like I say, by the way, this is not my first streak. For those who are saying that's not a good goal, I cleared it years. I'm just put that out there just to shut that down for you even open my mouth and say that or comment that. But my point is, currently, I'm doing this for a reason. Is my point, and I'm trying to, as Nipsey put it out there, win this match, so to speak. So let's tap in briefly with the physical benefits, right? Semen constitutes the strength of the body. It is the life and the light of the eyes, right? There's so many videos online talking about how retention gives glow to your eyes. It does. It nourishes the brains, and the brain is directly connected to your eyes. And so it's going to show. And that's why I can kind of tell when a guy is struggling in the area. Not that I'm trying to be judgmental, but I know from knowing so much about this topic, it will show in your disposition. Your face will tell on you. Not saying you got to be the most handsome guy in the world. Not saying you got to be a model. But, average looking guy will have an aura and glow if he does retention. A good looking man will look even better. So whether you're an average looking guy, and that's fine, by the way, or whether you're a really handsome man, it's going to show on your face. You're going to see it in your cheeks, your eyes, your smile, your disposition. People are going to be able to tell. You can tell a lot about a man within like 5-10 seconds of talking to him. At least I know I can. If I'm talking to another guy, your energy and aura is going to reveal itself pretty quickly. As men, we kind of all know. We kind of all think we're social scientists, to be honest, because we always examine each other, and that's a good thing. We should, for accountability, to learn to see who I'm dealing with. That's wise. But when we talk to another man, you can kind of tell pretty quickly if this guy's on the stuff or not. You see what I'm saying? And so when you're on retention, it's going to show in your eyes. You're going to have that aura. So check out what Solomon said. We're going to take it to the book for a second. King Solomon put it this way in his wisdom. Do not give your strength to women. I mean, he could have made it any plainer. Proverbs 31:3. Now, let me break down what that means. This is not teaching to not like women. I am in a committed relationship right now. So this is not a diss against women. I got 2 daughters. So some of you guys, you take this out of context. This is not teaching you to hate women. It's teaching you to love women properly, but to keep your strength as a man. That's the teaching here. And I got some stuff I'm reading right now that's really just blowing my mind. I'm reading a book right now. It's entitled I got it right here. The Testament. I got 3 books right here. I'm just tapping in with knowledge, just trying to feed my brain. And it's called The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. And this is talking about, Simon and Levi and Joseph and Reuben. And it blows my mind how all of these guys understood the importance of semen retention. Now, the book never says retention. That's not the point. Some of you guys, if you don't see those 2 words, you don't think that's what it is. No. They understood the importance of controlling themselves as men, and they shared very clearly what happened when they didn't do that. So what am I saying now? I took this talk from modern day Nip, Ali, you dig, Braun, Nikola Tesla. We took this talk all the way back to ancient Bible days. So whether we talk about the patriarchs, you understand me, all the way up to 2025, this is a knowledge that men have always had. And I think you should be happy you heard one like this. By the way, let me say something real quick. I did a long video like this a few years ago. And one of the guys who follows me on IG messaged me and said, man, big bro, you helped me clear a streak of like 6-7 months. So I know some of you guys go hear this message. You finna tap in and take it serious. I already know this. That's why I'm dropping this. I'm not just wasting my time on a Saturday. I know somebody needs to hear this. Even if it's one guy who's going to hear this message, that's the way I think. Even if one man hears this message and it changes his life, I did my job for the day. And I know for a fact there's going to be some guys. It's going to be more than one of you. Some of you guys are going to receive this message and tap in. Again, I go to the gym a lot. I was leaving the gym one day. I go there every day, pretty much. Well, 5 days a week, for just about every day. And I was on my way home, and a guy was on the left of me, and he said, "Iron in the soul," and it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that, right? And he was telling me, man, how he appreciated my retention content, man. I think he said he was on like 6 months to a year or something like that. And so I know a lot of you guys take this stuff serious and go stand on something. That's why I'm doing this video. I know a lot of this word is going to have some people get on their stuff, man. You see what I'm saying? And I don't drop these all the time because I don't think it's necessary. I drop these type of videos when I feel that it's needed. So I haven't did a long one like this in a long time. But I feel like it's that time. It's a new year, 2025. A lot is already going on, as we know, and I won't get into all of that. That's another, talking itself. I'm going to just keep it on track with this one. A lot going on. And so I feel in my spirit, okay, let me go ahead and tap in with the men again real quick. Let me go ahead and tap in, beginning of the year, and just drop this piece for you guys on a Saturday. And some of you may hear it next week. I'm sitting here now as I drop this, envisioning different guys listening to this, and it really help you. That's my goal with this. So I dropped that video October 2022, and one of the statements I made was they do not want you to be a strong man. I really believe that. In this book on the Testament of Patriarchs, it blew my mind. Just how strong men were in the ancient world. And it's talking about them fighting lions. This is no cap to me. Throwing 60-pound stones. Taking over cities. I'm like, man, what has happened to men? What has happened to us? Where guys don't even want to lift weights. Guys don't want to pick up no heavy objects. Don't want to lead women. Discouraged. And this is not a judgment. This is just me asking these questions. Okay, what has happened to us as men? And of course, not every man, because a lot of you guys are on your stuff. I understand that. But we're speaking, collectively speaking. I think you guys, I know you guys are intelligent enough to know what I'm talking about. So that's not a shot at every individual man, to make that clear. But it is an assessment for men as a whole worldwide. And I'm going to tell you, my honest opinion, it's a number of things, obviously. And I won't get into all of that. But in the context of this talk, a lot of guys have lost control over their sexual desires and urges. And that's just destroying them, to be honest, bro. And so, yeah, there's an agenda to have men out here weak so that you can be controlled, so that you can be told what to do. And that's just not a good space. That's not where we need to be. So overindulgence, it will lead to, I believe this, premature aging. Your eyes are dim. You can see it in the eyes all the time. Teeth falling out. When you're in retention, you'll have better teeth. Right? Your teeth will be whiter. They'll be stronger. Your beard will grow stronger. It will be more visible. You'll have more hair on your head. This is a benefit. When you're not doing this, you sometimes you have a problem with hair loss. Legs will grow abnormally. Your legs as a man is your base. That's where your testosterone, your strength is at. That's why they said in the movie Rocky, women weaken the legs. That's the truth. That's where your testosterone, your base, your manhood. You see what I'm saying? And when you're just constantly just, you know what I mean, and this is just being real here, just wasting your seed as a man. My question is, why do you not have more respect for yourself? This is just a conversation. I'm not attacking. I'm trying to say this as calm as possible. We're having a conversation as men. Why do you not honor yourself more as a man? You should honor yourself. You see what I'm saying? See, respect starts with respect for self. And when you are on retention for 3 months, 6 months, you definitely will see yourself differently. And when you see yourself differently, other people will see you differently. They're going to pick up on that. They're going to pick up very quickly on your confidence. They're going to pick up on that newfound charisma, your ability to tell jokes, make people comfortable. You see, you have life in you. So let me take this time now to read some of this from the Testament of the Patriarchs. This is about the ancient manhood, and I think this would be encouraging to you. This is a part of the book that's referred to as the Testament of Issachar. Listen to this. He says, "When therefore I grew up, my children, I walked in uprightness of heart, and I became an husbandman for my father and my brethren, and I brought in fruits from the field according to their season. And my father blessed me, for he saw that I walked before him. And I was not a busybody in my doings, nor envious, nor malice against my neighbor. I never slander anyone." That's definitely manly. Men, we should not be out here gossiping. Let me just drop that real quick. That part. "Nor did I censure the life of any man, walking as I did in singleness of eye. Therefore, when I was 35 years old, I took to myself a wife. For my labor wore away my strength." Listen to this, guys. Here it is. "For my labor wore away my strength. And I never thought upon pleasure with women, but owing to my toil, sleep overcame me. And my father always rejoiced in this, because I offered through the priests all first fruits, then to my father also. And the Lord increased 10,000-fold his benefits into my hands. And also Jacob, my father, knew that God aided my singleness." So let's park right here. He's saying that he didn't marry till he was 35, and that during that time, maybe his 20s, he was celibate. That's what he's got through saying in this book. So during that time, he gave his time to his work. And so basically he worked all day till he was so tired he wanted to go to bed. And I said, man, that's manhood. Being on your grind all day long to the point where you're exhausted at night. So my question to you, my boy, sir, are you exhausted each night? Real talk. Tired from your work. Mentally, physically, spiritually. Are we really on our grind so much so that we don't have time to be on those sites? We don't have time to waste our seed. We're worried about the next day of work. And because he did this, now again, it doesn't say retention, but we know what that means. He was on retention, bro. And so he was on his grind. He was working every day to the point where he thought about basically work and sleep. And because of that, God blessed him and his money increased 1,000-fold. I mean, he had bread. So we have an example here of what I'm talking about. Building power and wealth. He had influence, obviously, because he was over people. He had the respect of his father. That's a good thing, by the way. So you know you own your stuff as a man when you got respect from older men and younger. There are guys like that. There are guys in their 20s and 30s who are respected by both age brackets. And that's a young man that's owning stuff. You know what I mean? That's what he was doing here. And so we see in this context, this is kind of going back to that 2020 iron for those who remember those stories. Man, just being on your purpose. When a man puts his purpose over his pleasure, he will prosper. Let me say that again for those in the back. When a man puts his purpose over his pleasure, he will prosper. Money, influence, status, clout, whatever word you want to use, people respecting you. Social currency. Okay, we talk about that too. Got the social currency, whether it be on social media, YouTube, IG, Twitter, etc. That social currency could turn into some real currency, by the way, obviously, if you do it right. All of that. So, listening to a talk like this, the question would be, okay, why would you not want to do this? You know what I mean? That's my current thought. After hearing this, if I was a guy listening to this, if I didn't know anything about this, I would be thinking, if I was a guy that was ignorant about this topic, I would be thinking after hearing this, man, I need to give this a try. After hearing all of that, man, let me at least see for myself. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to see for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Even though I gave you the word of patriarchs, we talked about rappers, scientists, artists, entrepreneurs, any man you could think of, different races, black, white, Hispanic, all over the earth. You hear me? This is for everybody. So I don't see how a guy could listen to a talk like this and not even say, I'm at least going to consider this. You know what I'm saying? Let me practice. So let me give you a go. If you don't believe this at all, go 30 days. Let me just go ahead and put some teeth in this. We're not just going to talk. Go 30 days, my boy. You say, I don't believe in that. Go 30 days. Go 60. I'm on day 50 right now. I guarantee you go 30, 60 days, you're going to feel a difference. I guarantee you that. For those who, longer than that, great. 6 months. Let's go for a year. Step it up. I went for years in my 20s. So whether you're a guy who's more advanced and when you want to go for years, or whether you're somebody who's new to this journey, again, set a goal. And once you start seeing your other goals being accomplished, you start manifesting your goals and desires and dreams, it's going to encourage you to keep going. So let me kind of get some more thoughts to this. By holding on to your seed, you help yourself and other people. You're going to have influence, and this effect on others will be profound. We think about those videos online. I'm using for the purpose of this platform the word corn. We know what that means. Corn videos were made, and it comes from a Greek word which means bought or purchased. This is the history of this stuff. The performers were slaves, bought and sold. That's how it started. And the masters got rich from the profits of this business. And that's kind of still the same spirit behind it, even though it's not as extreme as that. It's kind of the same thing. So essentially, evil men seeking wealth through greed, violence, slavery, innocent human beings, dishonesty, hate, selfishness, and cruelty of every kind. Those of us listening to this talk, we want to accumulate wealth the exact opposite way. We want to accumulate wealth through hard work, time, honesty, character, fear of the Most High, love for our fellow men, high vibration thoughts. Let's talk about it. Come on. Skill, passion, seed retention, meditation for hours, prayer for hours, work for hours, all the above, thought power, brilliant power, grit, consistency, desire, determination, and dedication. We want to escape the cycle of depression that so many men struggle with. Let's talk about it, guys. A lot of guys struggle with depression, discontentment, loss of confidence. Let's talk about it. Health declining, voice is weaker, don't have a strong presence around other people, struggling to make eye contact. Is that what men should be? Of course not. And when we're not careful, we become someone you wouldn't want to look up to when you were a boy. Think about that. None of us should want to be the man that you would not have looked up to when you were a boy. Think about that, my boy. Wasting your energy is a waste of your creative energy, which leads to a loss of dreams, goals, and frustration with your life. So now that I've said all that, I want you guys to set a goal. I talked about in this video, day 50, 15 days, 30, 60, 90, a year, 5 years. I don't know where you're at in your journey. But after hearing this talk, set a goal. Get control in this area and become the best version of yourself. Thanks, guys, for listening to this video. For those who made this far, the entire video, I appreciate you guys. Again, if you want to talk to me for consultation to go a little more in depth, I got a lot of notes here that I'm not sharing to really break it down for you. I'm open for that as well. This is your Big Bro King Jabez. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.